This is a question I've been getting a lot from students. Does Maastricht University offer scholarships to study medicine at Maastricht University? In this video, I'm going to be explaining more about that, giving you more information about that, and hopefully answering that question for those of you who have the same question as well. Now, background. I'm a 6th-year medical student, final year medical student at Maastricht University. I've been studying here for a while. My background, I come from Cameroon. I moved here a while ago, integrated into the Netherlands 1 year, and then applied to study medicine at Maastricht University. Next to that, I also worked at the visa office, I worked at the call center for the university, and I also worked in close collaboration with the people from the scholarships office at Maastricht University. That gave me more insight into the scholarships process and the scholarships that are available. I also know students who have received different scholarships at Maastricht University. So that puts me in a good position to actually answer these questions for those of you who have the questions. Now, the simple answer, does Maastricht University offer scholarships for medicine at Maastricht University? No, not as far as I know at least. Maastricht University, the tuition fee is 32,000 for international students, so people who are outside of the EU, and for those of you who are from the EU, it's more or less around 2,000. It's slightly above 2,000, but more or less around 2,000. The difference is so big because the government of the EU subsidize the tuition fee for EU nationals, so then it's no longer 32, but it's 2,000. And for those coming abroad, you have to pay 32,000. Now, unfortunately, there are no scholarships for medicine. There are scholarships for other programs like the Masters in Global Health and other Masters in Maastricht University. But for medicine, I've tried and asked why. It's an expensive program. It costs around 200,000 to train a doctor. You have to come into the country, and at some point after the third year, you have to transition to Dutch and study in Dutch for 3 years. I think there's a lot of uncertainty. This is my opinion. I think there's a lot of uncertainty there, and it costs a lot to train a doctor. And bringing someone in for 6 years and not having a guarantee that that person is gonna go through, because Maastricht University, to study medicine, you come directly from high school for the most part and like start studying medicine. It's not like America where you get an undergrad and you can prove yourself, and then based on that track record you have from your undergrad, they can tell if you can follow through with the medical program or not. From here, you come from high school, so they don't really have a good idea of who you are and whether or not you're going to follow through with the 6 years, because it's a big investment. 200,000 euros to train one doctor. It's a lot. And if you're not going to stay, they're not going to get that much return on that investment, then it might not be a very lucrative offer. That's my opinion. That's one of the reasons I think there has not been a scholarship option. The only students who have been able to study on scholarships in Maastricht University, as far as I know, are the Saudi Arabian students who came to Maastricht University because their government more or less paid. So that's the only exception I know of people who have studied in Maastricht University with paying the full tuition, because it's ridiculous. The difference between 2 and 32,000 is ridiculous. So unless you have a very rich father like Dangote or someone like that, it's really ridiculous to pay that amount of money for 1 year only for tuition fee. And if you had the money, then I can really imagine that you would just go to America to study there, because it's in English and you can do your whole thing in English or in a language you're more familiar with, than coming here and having to study a new language while paying that amount of money as well. So long story short, as far as I know, there are no scholarship options to study medicine in Maastricht University for the bachelor's or the master's. I hope that comes in the future. I hope maybe someone sees this video and is like, you know what, I actually want to give students a chance. So a lot of people reach out to me asking about this, wanting to study medicine, but not having the financial means because it's really that expensive. Hope someone sees this video, you never know, and wants to sponsor people. I think if you find a private donor or private sponsor, then they can actually sponsor you, and that's okay. But it's ridiculously expensive to study medicine here. There are no scholarship options, unfortunately. I hope that comes in the future, but hopefully that answers the question to a lot of you who have been asking me for the scholarship options in Maastricht University.